The Valorian cruise liner Celestial Harmonics drifted through the Andromeda sector, its crystalline hull refracting starlight into prismatic patterns. Ambassador Zexthal stood in the observation deck, her 4 eye stalks focused on the peculiar creature in the containment field before her. "Fascinating specimen," remarked Trade Minister Clovath, his scales shimmering with curiosity. "The trader said they found it on a backwater planet called Earth? Third rock from an unremarkable yellow star." The human, a male named Marcus Chen, sat cross-legged on the floor wearing torn jeans and a faded band t-shirt. He appeared to be examining his fingernails with intense concentration, occasionally glancing at his captors with those strange, forward-facing binocular eyes. "It's quite adorable in a primitive sort of way," Zexthal cooed, lowering the containment field slightly. "Look at its tiny teeth. No venomous fangs, no acidic saliva, and those soft, squishy appendages instead of proper claws." Marcus yawned, revealing those tiny teeth in what the aliens interpreted as a submissive gesture. "The biological scans show it's barely survived 3 decades of its short lifespan," Clovath added, scrolling through his datapad. "Its planet hasn't even achieved faster than light travel. They're still using controlled explosions for propulsion. Can you imagine?" Zexthal's translator implant chirped as she attempted to communicate with the creature using simplified gestures and high-pitched sounds, the universal method for addressing non-sapient beings. "Who's a cute little thing?" "Yes, you are." "Yes, you are." Marcus raised an eyebrow but said nothing, his expression unreadable. "I think I'll keep it," Zexthal decided. "It'll be wonderful for the younglings at the embassy. They've never seen a primitive mammaloid before. We can teach it simple tricks. Perhaps it can learn to fetch objects or perform basic tasks." "An excellent diplomatic gift," Clovath agreed. "Though I'd recommend a leash. Who knows what diseases or parasites it might carry from that underdeveloped world." The ambassador produced a small device that projected a holographic collar around Marcus's neck. "There, now it can't wander off. Come along, little creature. Time to meet your new home." For 3 standard cycles, Marcus played his role perfectly. He allowed himself to be paraded before Zexthal's colleagues, accepting their head pats and treats with apparent contentment. He observed everything: their technology, their language patterns, their social hierarchies, their security protocols. The aliens, convinced of his primitive nature, spoke freely in his presence about trade routes, political alliances, and military capabilities. On the 4th cycle, during a crucial diplomatic reception with representatives from 12 different species, Marcus made his move. Zexthal was mid-sentence, discussing a proposed mining operation on a disputed asteroid field, when Marcus calmly stood up, walked to the refreshment table, and poured himself a glass of Centaurian wine. "The Outer Rim Mining Consortium proposal," he said in perfect galactic standard, his accent flawless, "violates Section 7 of the Sapient Beings Protection Act, specifically subsection 4 regarding indigenous populations." The room fell silent. 17 different species turned to stare at the pet, who had just spoken in grammatically perfect standard citing interstellar law. Zexthal's eye stalks went rigid with shock. You can speak?" "Of course I can speak," Marcus replied, taking a sip of wine and making an appreciative noise. "Nice vintage, by the way. I'm Marcus Chen, Lieutenant Commander. United Earth Diplomatic Corps. I've been gathering intelligence on illegal human trafficking operations for the past 6 months." Clovath's scales flushed from blue to purple, a sign of extreme distress. "But the scans. You're primitive. Your planet hasn't even achieved FTL. We achieved it 47 years ago," Marcus interrupted, pulling a small device from his pocket, one that had been there the entire time, masked by the very technology the aliens thought their primitives incapable of creating. "We've just been careful about announcing ourselves. Turns out the galaxy is full of species who think humans make adorable pets." He activated the device. Holographic displays materialized around the room, showing documented evidence of 17 different trafficking rings, thousands of humans sold into servitude, and the complicity of several respectable trading houses. "You see, Ambassador," Marcus continued, his voice hardening, "humans have this funny trait. We're persistence hunters. We're patient. We watch, we learn, we wait, and we never ever forget those who wrong us." Zexthal's translator was working overtime to process her stammering. "But how did you—" "The collar. The containment fields. Quantum phase shifter, Marcus said casually. Your containment tech is based on Varolian field dynamics. We cracked that about 30 years ago. As for playing dumb, well, that's even older technology. We call it acting. Humans have been doing it for thousands of years. The room erupted in chaos. Accusations, denials, threats. Marcus stood calmly at the center of it all, took another sip of wine and tapped his communication device. Chen to Indomitable. Packages secured. You may proceed with diplomatic protocols. High above the station, hidden from sensors by technology the Galactic Council didn't know existed, the United Earth starship Indomitable dropped its cloaking field. It was joined by 17 other vessels, each one bearing the flag of humanity's growing interstellar navy. Captain Sarah Rodriguez's voice came through clearly on all frequencies. Attention Valorian Station. This is Captain Rodriguez of the United Earth Navy. You are hereby charged with crimes against sapient beings under galactic law. Prepare to be boarded. Marcus set down his wine glass and smiled at the stunned assembly. I should mention, humans, we're not pets. We're not primitive. And we're definitely not alone anymore. Welcome to the new galactic order, folks. We're going to have a very long conversation about sapient rights. Ambassador Zexthal sank into her chair, all four eye stalks drooping in defeat. The cute little pet had been an apex predator all along, and they'd invited him into their den. In the end, the galaxy learned an important lesson. Never judge a species by its soft skin and small teeth. Because sometimes the most dangerous weapon in the universe isn't claws or fangs or acid. It's patience, intelligence, and the will to see justice done. The humans had spoken. And the galaxy would never see them the same way again.